Welcome back, Tigers! In this video, we're going to review our recommendations for finding contacts that can be deleted without impacting your historical data. You may find yourself wanting to clean up contacts to remove the old contacts who have changed companies or retired. While cleaning up records is the right thing to do, you need to check to see if the contacts are related to other records before deleting. We will show you how to create a report that will allow you to easily find these contacts that you don't want anymore. Let's hop over to Salesforce and see how to find the contacts that can be deleted safely. All right, here we are in Salesforce on a contact record, and we're starting to see more and more people in our database with a contact status of inactive. We've run a report, we're able to find hundreds of them, and we want to be able to clean up our database. If we were to run a report and we just say, hey, anybody with a contact status of inactive, we want to delete, some bad things would happen. Some things you should be aware of are, whenever you delete a contact record in Salesforce, there are 6 other types of records that are automatically deleted. Tasks and events are going to be deleted if you delete the contact they are related to, if that's the only contact that they're related to. So you could be deleting calls, meetings that sales reps had with these people that could be impacting numbers that they're reporting on. Some other things that will automatically be deleted are your campaign history. So that could impact your marketing reports around how many people were at a trade show or received an email. All of your attachments that are related to a contact would also be deleted. Notes are automatically deleted. And then your assets that are not related to cases, automatically gone. All things you need to consider before you just hit that delete. Now, there's a whole bunch of other records that could also be impacted by your contact deletions. Now, in this example, we have 2 opportunities related to this contact. Let's say that this contact was a contact role on these opportunities and was the only person on these opportunities. If you delete this contact, you would lose the primary person who was engaged on these opportunities. You'd lose all that history. If they have any other related information, you would lose that as well. So it's very important for you to check to make sure that these contacts who are no longer active don't have any records related to them that could mess up your historical information. Just because they moved from one company to another doesn't mean this contact record is garbage. So let's go ahead and look into how we can run some reports that will allow us to find the contacts who are inactive, who don't have any related records. So let's pop over to the Reports tab. And I have a contacts report here. It's the report type Contacts and Accounts. And I'm going to add my contact status filter to this. I'm going to look for anybody who has an inactive status. All right, so I have 14 people who are inactive. Now, if I look at a couple of these contacts, I can see that this one has a closed won opportunity. I definitely don't want to delete this contact record because this would remove the fact that this contact was ever involved with this deal, and that's a really important thing to know. I'm going to go back to this report here, and I'm going to add a cross-object filter that will allow me to remove the contacts that have an opportunity related to their contact record. I'm going to use my cross-object filter of contacts without, and then I'll scroll down to opportunities, and we see that I have 2 different opportunities to choose from. And the reason for that is because we have a lookup field to the contact record on our opportunity. If we hop over here, we can see what that looks like. So this field right here, our primary contact, is a lookup to our contact record. So we will need to add 2 cross-object filters to our report, one for the opportunity contact role, and then the second one for our primary contact lookup. Now you can tell which one is which because the opportunities contact role object will have a role field to choose from, and then the other one will not. So you can tell this one is the primary contact. Now, if I save and run this, we should not see Blair on this list anymore. So we can see we now have 11 contacts. So 3 contacts actually had open or closed opportunities related to them. So we definitely didn't want to delete those. The next thing we can check for is if somebody has an activity related to them. So we have the last activity field in our report here, and this tells us whether or not they have an activity related to their contact record. So none of these have an activity, so we don't need to filter any of those out. Let's just go ahead and open up one of these contacts and confirm that. And we can see, yep, there's no activities here. Now let's go and edit, and let's add another cross-object filter. And you can say, I don't want to delete contacts with anything else that you see in this list. So you may have a specific custom object that is really important within your org. Maybe you don't want to delete anybody who's been a recipient for DocuSign. So you can filter those out. You can only put 3 cross-object filters in one report though. So if we were to choose, hey, give me everybody who doesn't have a relation to the DocuSign status object, you can't add any more cross-object filters here. So we'll save and run this. And the trick here is if you have more that you need to add, we can add these people to a campaign. So I'm going to create a campaign here. And I'll just pick any campaign type because this is going to be temporary. I'm going to delete it. So we'll call this contacts for deletion. And now I'll come here and I'm going to add these people to that campaign. You will get an email whenever they've been successfully added. We only have 11 people, so it doesn't take that long. All the people are now in the campaign. So now I can come back here and I can say, all right, let's take off all of these. And now I want the people with campaign history where the name, this is still holding on to the DocuSign fields. We're just going to save that. I've seen that happen in the cross-object filters. Just do a little refresh there. So we want to look for contacts that are a part of that campaign now. There we go. So our campaign name is Contacts for Deletion. And now we can add 2 more cross filters. We can say contacts without, we can say activities, assets, whatever else we want. So I'll just put in activities here. You can add 2 more, and then you can do this over and over again. Keep adding them to the campaign for deletion, and then adding 2 more cross-object filters. It just prevents you from having to do full exports of your data and then doing a cross-reference in Excel to figure out who you can safely delete. All right, well, I hope that gives you enough insight into how you can find the right contacts to delete without mucking up your history in your orgs. That's it, that's a wrap. Be sure to subscribe to Blue Tiger Academy so you don't miss the next video we are working on that will show you how to create Salesforce reports to find specific types of contacts. Maybe you are looking to target people who have an open opportunity, or maybe you want to email everyone who has not had an interaction with the sales team in over 6 months. We will show you how to create these types of reports. Let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you'd like to see a video on a different Salesforce topic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.